welcome back to another Ace for Waves episode with your host, Annabelle here. It's been quite a few months since we last did a podcast episode, at least a main episode nonetheless, but I am back today with something very exciting, I think, to me. Obviously, this is my sports podcast on my YouTube channel, and as I say, just main episodes. There are some other stuff that I like to do with my channel that I haven't done in a minute, but I'm hoping to kind of get back on that train. It's just been a very busy time for me, but today's episode, we are going to be taking a BuzzFeed quiz, but not just any BuzzFeed quiz. We're going to be doing some NFL trivia here. It's something that I have been trying to think if I wanted to do it as like a Saturday special, if I wanted to make it a main episode, or if I just wanted to do it kind of like as a conversation starter with like a coffee talk or something. But I ultimately decided to make it just a main episode that is coming out on a Monday. It's going to be one of three events or videos I have planned to upload this week, which I'm very excited about. I'm going to try to be just a little bit more consistent there because I like making videos for my channel. And I also just love talking about sports and all that fun Shazam. So we're doing a main episode today with NFL trivia. I'm hoping by Wednesday, when I should upload videos and make podcast episodes for my channel and Spotify that I've also neglected a little bit since March, but I'm hoping by Wednesday we will have another main episode coming out where I will be debriefing the 2026 NBA Finals. I've been doing a little bit of research, looking at the statistics, gathering fan thoughts as well. Going to compile all of that into a video, kind of talking about the NBA Finals, how the series went, all the thoughts, etc. So I am looking forward to that. And then Saturday, I have something planned for a Saturday special and also kind of to celebrate 25 episodes of the main podcast, which this will officially be episode 25 of the Ace for Waves. I do have something I want to try to plan that includes, spoiler alert, something maybe to do with the outdoors. And you will find out what that is on Saturday. So, enough of me rambling, enough of me talking. Let's get into NFL trivia, which for audio only listeners, well, I guess for videos too, I'm going to be reading the questions out loud. And I won't be able to see the answers, so no, I'm not cheating. We're likely to do a couple of questions, and by couple, I'm thinking maybe 20-ish. This BuzzFeed quiz says, are you an NFL superfan? These football trivia questions will prove it when you host game day. Some of these are easier than extra points, and it was last updated on February 28th, 2026. So, let's do this here. Let's start off. The NFL season is upon us, and this is just the right post if you're looking for some American football Q&As for you and your pals. This list is intended for trivia nights, rather than a quiz you take yourself, so gather your NFL buddies and put them to the test with these questions. Obviously, I'm just doing this by myself, so let's see what we're doing here. I already saw that answer, so we're not going to do that question. This one says, who is credited with introducing face masks to the NFL? I do not know that answer to that question. Who is credited with introducing face masks to the NFL? I have to assume face masks were introduced like at least in the 1970s. Wait, but when did the NFL start? I think the first Super Bowl was in the 30s. I don't think face masks were introduced in the 30s quite yet. Even in the 50s, I feel like the 50s were even too early for face masks. at least in that time period. Um, but it says who is credited with introducing face masks. That's a hard one. I'm just gonna say I don't know who the first NFL commissioner is, but if I could get close to the year, I'm gonna say face masks were introduced in 1962. It says the answer was Paul Brown, and it didn't give me a year. So, we're already doing pretty bad. This next question says, which round of the 2000 NFL draft was Tom Brady selected in? I am very fortunate. I know the answer to that question, and it is the sixth round, which I am correct. So, give a few claps for myself there. That was an easy one. What are the only two NFL teams to win the Super Bowl at their home stadiums? Ooh, that's a tough one. Ooh boy. Okay. Okay. Let me cook here. I I know that the Los Angeles Rams have won a Super Bowl like in 2021, I want to say. And I think that Super Bowl was hosted at SoFi Stadium, which is home of the Rams. So I am going to say the Los Angeles Rams because I'm pretty sure they did win a Super Bowl at their home stadium. So I feel very confident about that. I don't think a Super Bowl has been hosted at Arrowhead Stadium, which is home of the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't that I can recall at least. I don't know if the Patriots have hosted a Super Bowl in their stadium. I know they have won a lot. Same with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, I want to say like the Cowboys too. I can picture the Cowboys hosting a Super Bowl at AT&T Stadium, but I don't know if they won a Super Bowl back then because I know most of their Super Bowl wins came in the 90s, and I don't really know trivia that far back. Oh, that's a hard one. I know the Carolina Panthers have never won a Super Bowl before, so I can't say them, even though they're my favorite team. Did the Packers win their first Super Bowl one at their Lambeau? Mm, okay, because I do need to make this kind of a quick one. I am going to go with the Rams, and because I also just don't know, I'm going to go ahead and say the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, let's see what our answers are. The answers were the Los Angeles Rams. Okay, we got that correct. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, I feel like that also makes sense. Yeah, I can kind of see it. I never would have guessed the Bucks, though. I wonder if that was when Tom Brady won the Super Bowl with the Bucks. Okay, moving on. Question number 5. What was the name of the first player ever drafted by the NFL? Um, I do not know this one. Um, I'm not even gonna try and guess, unfortunately. It says Jay Burwanger was the first player ever drafted by the NFL. That's a cool fact to know. Okay, which team? This is question. I think we're on question number 5 now, or question number 4. I already lost count. Which team holds the record for the fewest rushing yards in a game? Ooh, it says which team. Now, this is this is tricky here. Because there's a few teams that I'm trying to think of that don't have really good running backs. Now, I'm wondering if this was like in the past decade or so, like from 2010 up until now, 2026. So I guess 16 years. Or if this was back in like the when the NFL was first starting out, like in the 1930s, 40s, or 50s for that matter. But a team I know the 49ers had some really good running backs, so I don't think it was them. I know the Cowboys have had good running backs elected to the Football Hall of Fame, but again, the Cowboys were not really good for a good period of time up until the 90s. Because I have to say a team, I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns. And the answer was the Detroit Lions. Which, okay, I can also see that. What are the only five universities that have produced both a U.S. president and a Super Bowl winning quarterback? Oh dear. I don't know universities very well. I don't know what universities Tom Brady went to, because I know he's won a Super Bowl. Um, and I don't know what universities U.S. presidents have come from either. Because I know Patrick Mahomes went to Texas Tech and he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, I'm going to say Texas Tech as number one. Um, I'm going to say UCLA because I know that's California. I'm going to go with Harvard. I doubt a U.S. president has come from Harvard. Virginia Tech because presidents are from Virginia. Um, And I don't know what college Brett Favre went to when he won a Super Bowl with the Packers. And I'm just gonna say the University of Ohio. I'm probably wrong on all of these. Okay, so University of Delaware, Miami University, Ohio. Okay, so do I get Ohio-ish? Probably not. University of Michigan, Stanford University, and the United States Naval Academy. Yeah, that one makes sense too. I already saw the answer for this one also. Let's see. Which stadium hosted the first ever Super Bowl? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know cities that or stadiums that well. The first Super Bowl I know was played against the Green Bay Pack with the Green Bay Packers, who won the first ever Super Bowl. However, I don't think they played it at Lambeau Field, so that's where I struggle with. I'm trying to think if football was around in the 1930s or if the first one was around the 30s. Maybe it was even 40s. I don't know history that well. I know Lambeau Field was back then. I don't know if half of these NFL teams today were around then. So, with that in mind, I'm going to go with Lambeau Field. And it was the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, which I wonder if it today is otherwise known as SoFi, being in Los Angeles. I don't know. Let's go to another question here. I'm doing about as well as I thought, which is not good in the slightest bit possible. Which NFL team name was inspired by a kitchen appliance brand? Oh, which NFL team was inspired by a kitchen brand? See, I can't even read. I'm trying to think what team name or what mascot name. Here, hold on. Which NFL team name was inspired by a kitchen appliance brand? See, I don't know. I'm gonna roll out all of the NFC East right away. Because you have the Eagles, you have Cowboys, you have the Giants, the New York Giants, and you have the Redskins, who are now known as the Commanders. So I don't think it's any of them. I also don't think it's named a kitchen appliance brand will be named after an animal. So I'm gonna also rule out the Detroit Lions here. I'm gonna rule out the Ravens. I'm gonna the Chiefs maybe, but I don't think the Chiefs are a kitchen appliance brand or their team name. I don't think it's the Raiders. I definitely don't think it's the Raiders. I don't think it would be the Jets. Oh, but the Jets, unless we're talking about actual like Jets here. But it says the kitchen. What's in the kitchen? We have a dishwasher. We have a refrigerator in the kitchen. Knives. Hmm. I need to come up with something, and just the only thing coming to my mind right now is the Cleveland Browns, which is definitely not right. So let's just go with the Cleveland Browns. The Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, I guess a brand. I thought I was talking about actual kitchen appliances. That makes more sense. The Bengals. I wonder what Bengals is a kitchen appliance brand. There we go. What is the only NFL team with a left-facing logo? Ooh, a left-facing logo. So it starts on the left or it faces the left? Is it? I don't think it's but the Cowboys I know have a star, and I have to assume if you face the left, it can also face the right. I don't know if that's how that stuff works. I don't think it's the Dolphins. I don't think it's the Lions with their animals. The 49ers, maybe? San Fran? Um, ooh, Green Bay too. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, actually. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, see, it gives me a picture too. I guess that makes sense now because it starts on the left with the mascot. I thought it was like if you have the left and you turn around, it faces the left that way. So, if the Eagles makes more sense if it starts on that side. Um, okay, let's see here. Which team is Alliance Stadium home to? I do know this one. It is the Las Vegas Raiders, but previously known as the Oakland Raiders here. So that's like the only two I've gotten right now. Who is the NFL's all-time leading rusher? I want to say I think it's Emmett Smith with the Dallas Cowboys. Correct, Amundo there. Okay, we are still doing decently well here. What is the nickname for the 1967 championship game between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys? Ooh, the 1967 championship game. Okay. I feel like I've heard this game be described before. Now, I don't know if it was the dust game where it was just really hot. No, that would make sense because I feel like teams would be in the South. But if it's between the Packers and the Cowboys, I know the Cowboys are South. But if it was played in Green Bay, if Green Bay was hosting that championship game, I feel like I've always heard it referred to as the Ice Bowl or the Ice Game because of the freezing temperatures that were played in order to advance to the Super Bowl. Hmm. Yeah. I think that's my final answer. I'm going to go with the Ice Bowl. Oh, yes. There we go. Got it correct. I do think I've heard it be mentioned in there. Let's see. Who is the shortest NFL player of all time? Um, I'm not even gonna bother with this. I do not know. Jad Shapiro. I wonder if he has to be like 4 feet tall or something like that. Let's see. Who made NFL history as the first visiting quarterback to post a perfect passer rating? Okay, I have heard this player be described as the first one to get perfect passing rater, or yeah, perfect passing rating. And I want to say, if my memory recalls, that is Baker Mayfield with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I think it was also just recently done too. So I'm going to lock in Baker Mayfield. Boom, got it. Oh, I'm doing so great. I'm just kidding, guys. Do not take that seriously. I'm not really doing that well. Um, in what year did the Dallas Cowboys have a winless season? Okay, we're back to some hard ones now. Um, I know the 90s was like the peak Cowboys years. That's when they won their most Super Bowls back in the 90s. That was when Jerry Jones was at his like prime and such. So, I have to assume it's before the 90s. I have heard the 80s be described as the good Cowboys years too. So I'm guessing either the 60s or the 70s was maybe when they had their winless season. Maybe. I'm going to go with the 60s, and I'm going to say 1961. Darn it. Okay, so it was 1960. Dang. Oh, that one hurts a little bit. 1960. Because I know the 90s and the 80s were like peak Cowboys years. And so maybe the 70s were too. The 60s just felt right. But being one off from that kind of stinks. Let's go with another one. Which nickname do the Steelers fans use to refer to a legendary touchdown that occurred during the 1972 playoffs? Is that the Terrible Towels? The Immaculate Reception. Okay. I don't know why I should have guessed that. I know the Steelers do have terrible towels, though. So, that's that. Which team has the worst NFL winning percentage in NFL history? Um, I can think of a few teams. The Cleveland Browns come to mind. The Raiders come to mind. The Detroit Lions. Ooh, the Detroit Lions come to mind. I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions just because they never made it to a Super Bowl. I don't think they've had many good seasons in the past. Um, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Wow, I never would have guessed that. As the team with the worst winning percentage in NFL history, th- that's surprising to me. Okay, next question. We're gonna do just a few more questions here. It might be a short episode, but this is kind of fun. Which four teams have never made it to the Super Bowl? Okay, I don't know. I think I can get three out of the four, but I really want to guess all four. I do know the Jacksonville Jaguars have never been to a Super Bowl before. I do know this. The Buccaneers have made it to the Super Bowl. Haha, never mind. The Detroit Lions have never made it to a Super Bowl yet. Um, the Browns, I don't think have made it to a Super Bowl before. I don't think. I hope not, for my sake. If they have, I'm sorry to any Browns fans I just offended. Oh, the Houston Texans, I don't think have made it to a Super Bowl. Oh, but I want, but okay, but now I'm second guessing this. Like what if one of these teams actually has made it, and it's just like the second Super Bowl that ever existed? Mm, I'm going to definitely lock in the Jaguars. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars, the Lions, the Browns, and the Texans. And we are going to see if I am correct there. Probably not. Okay. Cleveland Browns, boom. Detroit Lions, yes. Texans and Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, that feels so good. Yeah, it just makes sense to me, unfortunately. All right, next question. Which team is known as America's team? Oh, I'm so grateful. I have a brother who is absolutely a big fan of this team. Shout out to you, Michael, there. That is the Dallas Cowboys. Boom. Got it. I'm so great. Let's see. What is the oldest NFL team to retain its name and location since joining the league? Oh boy. I have to say the Green Bay Packers. And that is correct. A boom. Let's see here. In what year did the NFL and the AFL announce their merger? I know what the NFL is. I don't know what the AFL is, unfortunately. Was that maybe the American Football League? If A stands for American and they just changed it to national? Because it's funny to me, I'm gonna say 1967, and it's probably wrong. 1966. See, I get so close to these years, and when I'm one off, that's kind of sad. But well, not sad, but okay. I went with 1967. That's just a funny answer with 6-7. But 1966. Pretty close. Pretty dang close. Sorry, I thought I was going to yawn for a minute here. Alrighty. Who is the current NFL commissioner? I do know this because he announces the picks at the NFL draft for the past, I don't know how many years. Roger Goodell. Got it. Which team had a winless season in 1960? Well, one of the previous questions earlier was the Dallas Cowboys had their first winless season, or what year did the Cowboys not win any games? That was, I think, 1960 ish. So I'm going to say the Dallas Cowboys. Yep, got it. Boom. Let's see. Which team recorded a song called the Super Bowl Shuffle in 1985? I do not know. Sorry. Had to yawn again. Because it's funny, I could totally see the. Actually, I could not totally see the Carolina Panthers recording a song. I could see the Green Bay Packers doing the Super Bowl Shuffle. But who won a Super Bowl in 1985? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Cowboys won a Super Bowl in 1985. Let's just go with the Eagles. Chicago Bears. Okay. Makes sense, I guess. What is the only NFL team that has never played on Thanksgiving? Oh, jeez. Okay. Let me think. The Chiefs have played on Thanksgiving before. They played just last year. The Cowboys, I feel like, always play on Thanksgiving, so it's definitely not going to be them. I know the Packers have definitely played on Thanksgiving before. The 49ers have had a Thanksgiving game. The Bears have had Thanksgiving games in the past. I feel like the Ravens have also played on Thanksgiving. What would be a team that. I'm trying to think of teams with like morals or like the cities that they're from that maybe would not allow them to play on Thanksgiving for some reason. I think most East Coast teams do play on Thanksgiving, at least what I've seen in recent years. Maybe teams from the South would not allow it for some reason. So I feel like Midwest teams are definitely good about playing on Thanksgiving. Hmm. And I do know the Lions have definitely played on Thanksgiving before. But I even that's hard because I don't want to say the Chargers or the Rams from being from LA, but maybe LA wouldn't allow a Thanksgiving game for them for some specific reason or not. I'm gonna go. Oh, this is hard. This is really hard. I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans. It was the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay. A little bit shocking, but I guess that does make sense. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna do a few more questions here that I just kind of want to see what we have here. The 2015 Deflategate controversy began with a championship game between which two teams? Okay. Deflategate is always referenced to the New England Patriots and Tom Brady. I'm definitely saying the New England Patriots. Oh, why am I yawning? I don't know why I'm so tired all of a sudden. The Patriots are an AFC team, so now it means I have to go with an NFC team. And was it between the Seahawks? Were the Seahawks the 2015 Super Bowl champs? I do know they had a Super Bowl with Russell Wilson. And I think the Panthers were the year after that in 2016. I'm saying the Patriots and the Seahawks. It was the New England Patriots. Oh, and the Indianapolis Colts. Darn it. Oh, now I'm reading the question again. It began with a championship game. Okay, I thought it meant the Super Bowl, but nope. Patriots and Colts are two AFC teams. And well, I should have known that. Um, let's see here. I'm trying to do a few more. I'm trying to do some hard questions here because I want some hard answers and some questions. Come on. Okay, which NFL team is the only team thus far to achieve a perfect season, remaining undefeated throughout the regular season and the playoffs? That would be the 1970s Miami Dolphins. Boom, 1972 Miami Dolphins. But I said the 70s, so we are still doing it. What is it called when a quarterback throws a very long pass near or in the end zone with a highly unlikely chance of completion, usually as a last ditch effort to score? That would be a Hail Mary. Already knew it. Don't even need to look at the answer because I am good, just that good. I'm kidding again. The Baltimore Ravens are named in honor of a poem by which famous writer? Oh, the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, okay. Oh, I think I do know this one actually. Because I know with ravens, there is a poem called The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. I've read his poem. I think I read that specific poem in like my LA class before. So, I need some coffee to wake up right now, and I'm not kidding. I'm gonna go with Edgar Allan Poe. Am I right? Yes, I am. I could totally see that, and that makes sense. Which NFL team has become notorious for running a play called the tush push, also known as the brotherly shove? It's the Philadelphia Eagles. I know that it's been coined that way since 2024, maybe 2023. Who headlined the last five Super Bowls? This was last updated in 2026, though. So, but it was last updated then. I don't know when this quiz actually came out. So, just to be on the safe side here, I'm going to go with 2025 up until 2020. So, I know the 2025 Super Bowl was Kendrick Lamar. 2024 was Usher. Sorry, now I'm trying to think it was 2023. Oh no, this is sad. So we got to Usher in 2024, Kendrick Lamar. Oh, Rihanna. Rihanna was 2023. I think the 2022 Super Bowl was Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Kendrick and like Mary J. Blige. And then the weekend. The weekend was 2021. So that's what I'm going to go with. But who was 2020? Was 2020 Coldplay? No. No, there's absolutely no way. But actually, yes way. No, I'm not going with that. Did Maroon 5 headline the Super Bowl in 2020? Or was it a woman? Or was it J-Lo and Shakira? Oh boy, see now I'm in this big loop. But okay, so if we're going off of 2025, I'm gonna say Kendrick Lamar was 2025, Usher was 2024, Rihanna 2023, 2022 was the hip hop with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick, Mary J. Blige, all those uh, performers, and then 2021 with The Weeknd. And 2020, we're just gonna go with Coldplay. Okay, 2024. Oh, it is starting off with 2024. Okay, so 2024 was Usher. 23, Rihanna. 2022 was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar. 2021, The Weeknd. Oh, and 2020 was Shakira and J-Lo. Dang it. I thought they were like 2019 for some reason. Maybe 2019 was Coldplay. Okay, we're gonna do two more questions here. Which team has won the most Super Bowls? I know the Patriots have a lot of Super Bowls with 6. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs have surpassed that yet. I know the Cowboys have won a lot of Super Bowls before. I don't know if they are tied at 6. I want to say the Cowboys have at least 4 at the most. The Bears have won a couple Super Bowls before. I think they've won multiple. The Colts? No, I don't think the Colts have won many Super Bowls. I'm trying to think. Because I know the Patriots are the AFC. Okay, forgive me for this. I don't know of a lot of NFL teams from the NFC that have won lots of Super Bowls before. Again, forgive me for that. Oh, 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 I'm looking at my screen right now if it's recording this and being like, Annabelle, you're so stupid. And I am kind of stupid. I know the Pittsburgh Steelers have won multiple Super Bowls with Ben Roethlisberger and probably before him too. I think not the Super Bowl, I think the Steelers are a reasonable guess. So I'm going to go with the Steelers and the Patriots. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots, are tied for the most Super Bowl victories with 6 each. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay, we're going to do one more question here. Just one more. And I'm going to try to think of a good one. So, who was the last team to have a winless regular season? I already see the answer to this, so I'm not going to pretend to guess. But it does say the Cleveland Browns. Which, again, is fair. Sorry, I'm going to stretch out my shoulder here because I just got some... Ugh. I don't know what happened to it. It just got very crampy all of a sudden. Let's find a good question to close out this podcast. What would an interception and a fumble be described as? If you intercepted, that is a turnover. I already knew that though, so psych. Who was the NFL MVP for the 2023-2024 season? That's Lamar Jackson. Boom. Already knew it. I'm the GOAT. Just kidding. Once more. Whenever I say I'm the GOAT, guys, just don't take it as me being absolutely serious. Because I am never serious when it comes to that stuff. Okay, here we go. Here's our final question that I just found. But I don't know if I'm going to get this one actually. But maybe not. But maybe I will. Let's see. Who was the Pepsi Rookie of the Year for the 2013 NFL season? This is our final closing question here. The Pepsi Rookie of the Year for the 2013 season. I don't. Oh boy, I was about to say I don't know if it's any current. I don't think it's any current quarterback here right now. Because if my memory serves correctly, for starting quarterbacks, just starting quarterbacks, I do think Dak Prescott is the longest tenure starting quarterback that has remained on the same team for 9 years now, or 9 seasons, and that was with the Dallas Cowboys. But Dak came into the league in 2016. And Lamar came into the league after him. So it would not be Lamar Jackson. Tom Brady was drafted in 2000, so it can't be him. Matthew Stafford didn't come into the league until later. Um, who was around in 2013? Cam Newton? I don't think Cam Newton came to the league in 2013 though. I know he was with the Panthers in 2015, 2014. I don't. Russell Wilson? No, I feel like Russell Wilson just recently retired too. Rookie of the year. See, I'm thinking offensive players. Maybe it's a defensive player. Maybe it's someone on defense I'm just neglecting. Mm, it's a tricky. It's tricky. It's just your right, it's just your right. It's tricky. I probably just got copyrighted there. So, psych. I'm gonna say Cam Newton. I know it's wrong, so don't come after me, internet, please. I just have to think of a name, and the only name that's coming to my mind right now is Cam Newton. Let's see. Keenan Allen. Okay, does Keenan Allen? I know. I think he played with the Chargers. I don't know if he was with the Rams now, but okay, Keenan Allen makes sense. So with that, that was our final question on NFL trivia. Again, thanks so much for listening to me talk trivia and do trivia. I did exceptionally bad, which I was a little bit expected. I'm not an NFL expert, but I hope that you guys learned something from NFL trivia today. Maybe you learned something fun that you did not know previously, and now you know. So, that concludes today's main episode. Again, I'm hoping to have another episode. Ow, just banged my knee on my desk here. I'm hoping to have another episode out by Wednesday where I will be debriefing the 2026 NBA Finals. I have been doing some research and some statistics and looking at all the stats stuff there. We will be discussing Game 5 in great detail. And by in great detail, I just mean looking at the stats there. We're not going to be watching footage from the games or anything like that. But we'll be talking about some of the players, the coaches, what went wrong for the Spurs, what went right for the Knicks, etc. And then on Saturday special, as a little special treat for the 25 episodes here, that is the spoiler alert once more, might have something to do with the outdoors. So you can wait and see what that will be about on Saturday. In the meantime, make sure to either comment some ideas that you want me to do on my YouTube channel. I am open to suggestions here, but otherwise, just have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you back on another episode in the near future. Bye.